Hello, everyone. I'm Jim Bruner, and welcome to Neighborhood Challenge, the TV game show where Sun City residents challenge their neighbors to match wits about general subject matter, as well as to go head-to-head on a variety of skill games that will test their ingenuity and manual dexterity using normal household items. At stake are some lovely prizes. The winning team members will receive $20 off any Lifestyles event, courtesy of Lifestyle Services, and our Health and Wellness Department provides each winning team member with a fitness coupon. But this is mostly for fun and territorial bragging rights and, of course, your viewing entertainment there at home. Our neighborhood teams today represent the Board of Directors and the Resident Advisory Committee. Now let's meet our two teams. From the Board of Directors, we have Captain David. And from the Resident Advisory Committee, we have Captain Ted. All right, Captains, we begin our challenge with randomly drawn questions from the following 4 subject categories. A Place in the Sun poses questions about geographic locales in and around Sun City Hilton Head. Fun and Games asks questions about sports and recreation within Sun City Hilton Head. The Sounds of My Generation offers questions about oldies music and classic rock. And our last category is It Happened in My Lifetime. These questions are about historic events of the past 85 years. Each team will answer a single question from each of these 4 categories. The questions are worth 10 points each. Answer correctly, you get the points. Incorrect answers simply receive no points. But there are no penalties or point deductions for a wrong answer, so it's okay to guess. I'll read the selected question, and your team will have 15 seconds to answer. Either of you have any questions?
No.
Not for
Okay,
me.
then.
Thanks.
Board of Directors, you won the toss, and we'll begin with a category, A Place in the Sun. Now, these are questions about geographic locales in and around Sun City Hilton Head. A correct answer within 15 seconds earns your team 10 points. Let's have the Board of Directors Captain David pick a question. All right, A Place in the Sun. What was the land upon which Sun City Hilton Head was built, used for, prior to 1994?
They raised trees to make paper. Right, what do they call it? It was a tree farm to make paper.
Okay,
Go ahead.
it was a tree farm to make paper.
That's right, an industrial pine tree farm for paper manufacture.
Nice going, guys.
Congratulations.
Said it last night.
Now, Captain Ted, it's your turn to answer a Place in the Sun question. So choose your team question. You must answer within 15 seconds. That one? What meal is reported to be most popular among Sun City residents? 15 seconds.
Breakfast.
What meal is reported to be most popular among Sun City residents?
Our answer is breakfast.
Good answer, but wrong. Early bird special.
Why didn't we think it?
Our next question category is called Fun and Games. This time, Ted from the Resident Advisory Committee will go first. Ted, choose a question, and for 10 points for your team, answer this question. If both pickleball and pickle tennis, the no volley zone is also known by which room in a common residential home?
The kitchen.
The no volley zone.
I just heard.
The kitchen.
Why, that's right.
All right.
All right. Now it's time for David from the Board of Directors to pick a question to play Fun and Games. Oh, ho, ho, ho.
The easy one.
I hope.
What popular dance fitness class is privately owned and protected by copyright?
I think so. I don't know.
Okay.
Jazzercise.
Time, I need your answer, David.
Yes, the answer is
Jazzercise.
jazzercise.
Good thought, but it's Zumba.
Can we second guess?
Yes. Let's have Doug update our neighborhood team scores. Doug?
After 2 rounds of questions, Board of Directors has 10 points and our RAC has 10 points.
This brings us to our first skill game, which David from the Board of Directors and Ted from the Resident Advisory Committee have already elected to play. This challenge is called Purple Pyramid. As you can see, we have a stack of our purple plastic cups in a pyramid-shaped pattern. Your goal is to unstack the purple plastic cups and then restack them into this very same purple pyramid. However, you may use only one hand and you have 45 seconds to do it. All cups must be outside the red lines before you begin restacking. We'll only count the purple plastic cups in the pyramid shape at the end of the 45 seconds. The winner will be the one with the most purple plastic cups in their pyramid, earning 20 points for your team. No points for the runner-up. Do either of you have any questions? Now we have David from the Board of Directors. On your mark, get set, go!
Okay, go on, you can do it.
Go, David. Go, David.
That's your good hand.
Woo!
Uh-oh.
One hand.
Oh, no.
You can do it. You can do it, Mark.
All right,
All right,
Junior, you're
David,
doing
keep
well.
rolling.
Keep going.
Get the rest of them later.
Off the red line.
There you go.
Good.
All right, go for it.
Ready, get set. Uh-oh, uh-oh.
That's bad to stack.
You did the right thing. Just
All right, come on, you
Come
can
on,
do
you
it.
can do it. Shake it.
Well, you
Keep on
can't
rolling.
make
Come on.
doubles, no doubles. No, it's not gonna work. It's not
Wow.
gonna work
Kick it
now.
up.
Oh.
Time, David, it's time. Oh.
Okay,
All right, that's a pyramid.
there's stickum in them.
Our scoring team will confirm the number of purple plastic cups in your pyramid. Next, Ted from the Resident Advisory Committee. On your mark, Ted, get set, go!
Let's go, Ted, come on, let's go, Ted.
One
That's
hand,
it, Ted.
one hand.
Go, Ted, go.
Go, Ted.
You're doing good.
Quiet.
Good.
Keep an eye on
Quiet.
the cup.
Good.
Keep an eye on the cup.
Hurry up now.
Faster, faster.
Looking
Oh my
good.
goodness.
Looking good. Everything's good.
Let's go.
I don't think it's got
Concentration.
I'm a golfer. I want quiet. I want one of those quiet signs.
Quiet, it's cheering you on. No, no,
You can put them in front
There
too.
you go.
That's the way, Ted, that's the way.
Move, move, move.
All right.
All right.
And the restack begins
Now you can build it back.
now.
Hurry up. Hurry up. Come on. Woo!
Go, 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 go.
Go, let's go, let's go.
Come on.
Doing good.
Oh,
Faster.
get it
We're
on.
doing good.
Woo! Oh, Lord. Ah.
Time, Ted,
Oh.
time.
Okay.
Aha. Now, our scoring team will confirm the number of purple plastic cups in your pyramid.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Doug will give us a scoring update after completing this round of Purple Pyramid.
After counting the purple cups, Board of Directors had 11 purple cups stacked. The Resident Advisory Committee had 10 purple cups. Board of Directors now has 30 points, and Resident Advisory Committee remains at 10 points.
Our second skills game is called Paper Scraper. As you can see, we have index cards on the table, some of which have been folded in half. Your goal is to stack 2 folded cards and place 1 flat card on top. Then continue to do that with using one hand only. The winner will be the one with the most completed paper floors in their paper tower in 45 seconds. You'll earn 20 points for your team, but no points for the runner-up. Anybody have any questions? Now, Lisbeth from the Resident Advisory Committee, let's play Paper Scraper. And 1, 2, 3, go!
Let's go, Elizabeth.
Looks good so
That's
far.
good.
Looking
You
good.
got
Go.
it. You got it.
Good job. Keep going, keep
This
going.
looks like a Danish modern.
Very nice.
Don't be too hard.
Excellent,
Woo.
That's it. Very good.
excellent.
Yeah, it
go.
looks really good.
All right.
Go, Elizabeth, go.
Got a good
Go,
pace.
Elizabeth, go. Go,
Is it
Elizabeth.
easy, easy?
Looking good.
Good, good.
Oh, no.
All right, look at this.
Oh,
All right.
Shaky, shaky. Woo. Oh, go, girl.
Oh, no shaky, shaky.
No
Woo.
win, no win, no
Woo.
win.
Don't breathe, don't breathe.
Don't breathe.
Oh, looking good.
You can stop whenever you want to. The only ones that get counted are the ones that are stacked.
Go.
Looking good.
Come on, come on.
Excellent.
Stop the game! Oh, way to go!
Great job.
Now our scoring team will count the floors in your paper scraper tower. Now that we have reset the materials for your paper scraper, Tab from the board of directors will construct her paper scraper. And 1, 2, 3, go!
Okay, go, 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 paper, tab, tab, go,
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 let's
go,
go.
go, 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 tab, go, 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 tab.
She's doing great.
Come on, tab, come on. Don't talk to her, just out of the chair. Come on, come on, tab, come on, come on, come on.
One more time. You're almost there.
Good, Tab. Looking good.
Go.
Come on, you got it.
Good. Looking
Careful,
good.
careful, careful. Oh,
You can
balance,
stop
balance,
whenever you
balance.
want to. Only the ones that are stacked
Let's
will
go,
be
tab,
counted.
let's go, come on.
Woo.
Nice going, I think we won, I think we won, we got it.
Look at that.
We got it. Oh, my.
Look at that.
Oh, my.
Rick.
Oh! Oh, well, I had 7 or 8. I
Now
didn't
only
know
the
you
ones
said.
that are at the end of the time.
Yeah, I know.
Now Doug and our crack scoring team will count all the floors in your paper scraper tower. Here are the results from round 4. Doug,
We have counted both teams' paper floors, and Board of Directors had 1 floor, Hurricane, and Resident Advisory Committee had 7 floors. Board of Directors now has 30 points, and the Resident Advisory Committee has 30 points.
our third question category is called Sounds of My Generation. We start with the Board of Directors. So David, please pick your team question. That one.
Pressure, pressure.
What American rock band from Spartanburg, South Carolina, was named after a blind piano tuner who had rented the space the group practiced in?
It's all you.
Okay, David.
Rock band, what's Marvin?
I don't even like big rock.
Go for it, doesn't make any difference. Go for it.
David?
Hootie and the Blowfish.
Oh, another good answer, but wrong.
Yeah. We knew that.
The Marshall Tucker Band.
Oh, sure.
Oh, yeah.
Sure, I didn't tip my tongue. Okay,
Who?
good.
Marshall
We were talking
Tucker
about it
Who?
yesterday.
Band?
Who?
Marshall?
No.
Now, Resident Advisory Committee will play Sounds of My Generation for 10 team points. Ted, pick your question. Oh, that one again?
That's right.
Sounds
I'm
of My
consistent.
Generation. On what college campus did Hootie and the Blowfish come together in 1986? What college campus?
Any guesses?
University of Virginia.
University of Virginia.
No. On the Columbia campus of the University of South Carolina.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
All right, Resident Advisory Committee. Are you ready to play It Happened in Your Lifetime? Ted, choose a question.
Get the pressure again.
Yes, we do.
Choosing the same question. In what decade did the first color television go on sale? What decade?
50s.
50s.
That's correct.
All right. I remember that.
Now it's time for David from the Board of Directors to pick a question and play It Happened in Your Lifetime. David. Three movies share the record for the most Academy Awards ever won with 11 Oscars each. Name any one of those movies.
Gone with the Wind.
Roots.
No, that was a series. Gone with the Wind. I think so. I do, but what do you guys think?
Tom Hanks was not in any of them.
No, okay.
Gone with the Wind.
Good guess, but no.
Come
It's
on.
Ben-Hur, Titanic, and Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King, 2003.
It's right on the tip of my tongue.
Right on the tip of my tongue. Now let's have Doug update our neighborhood team scores. Doug?
After the final rounds of questions, the Board of Directors remains at 30 points, and the Resident Advisory Committee now has 50 points.
This test is called Iron Nuts. It's called that because nuts is what you might be tempted to say as you struggle to build a stack of machine nuts using only one chopstick and one hand. That's right, you're going to stack as many common metal machine nuts as you can on top of one another. You must stack them like this sample stack on the table. You may use your chopstick in any way you wish to place one nut on top of another. You can stop whenever you want, but you'll only get credit for the number of nuts you've successfully stacked and are freestanding unassisted at the end of 30 seconds. The winner of this challenge will earn 20 points for his or her team, and the other team receives no points. If you both place the same number of nuts in the stack, then the fastest one wins. Any questions? You good?
Sure.
Okay. Now, Sherry from the Board of Directors will go nuts. On your mark, get set, go.
You can do it.
Okay,
Let's go.
all right, good. That's one.
There we go.
Okay, come on. Oh,
Stop.
careful two, right?
You're going.
Okay, you got
Great.
it. Beautiful.
Steady.
All right.
Steady.
Yep.
Try this.
Oh, boy.
Try this
Oh,
one.
ambidextrous.
You're doing very well.
You're
Look
doing
at that.
great.
Yay, good,
Oh,
good,
wow.
good,
Got
good,
another
good.
one.
Tell you what,
All
right
right,
Go,
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 go.
go, 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 go.
Excellent.
Don't get greedy.
Excellent.
Don't
Excellent.
get greedy.
Excellent.
Get it
Come
off.
on. Okay, don't get greedy.
Very gentle,
You do
gentle.
one more.
There you
That's
go.
pretty good.
Don't get greedy.
You can quit anytime you want. Stop, stop, stop.
Perfect.
Woo!
I think that's pretty good.
Now, our scoring team will count the number of stacked nuts and check your time. And now it's time for Tony from the Resident Advisory Committee to follow the same Iron Nuts rules. On your mark, get set, go.
Okay, let's go. That's it, Tony. That's
Let's
it.
do it.
There you go.
That's one.
Build it. Build it, build it. Come on, let's go.
Come on.
Come on, let's go.
No shaking.
Steady, steady.
That's
Steady,
two.
steady, steady.
This is-
Steady, steady. Oh, come on, Tony. Come on, Tony. You can do it. Tony.
Three.
Whoa, looking good.
Sometimes smaller is better.
Make
You
it
know,
nice.
smaller is better. Come
There you
on. Keep going, keep going.
That's
Keep
four.
going.
Time! Time,
right,
Tony,
way to
time,
go.
time. Way to go, way to go. Now, Doug has the results after our Iron Nuts challenge in round 3. Doug.
After the third skills game, Iron Nuts, Board of Directors had 4 nuts, and the Resident Advisory Committee had 4 nuts. They each got 20 points, and the Board of Directors now has 50 points, and the Resident Advisory Committee has 70 points.
Anchoring the teams for our 4th skill game are John from the Resident Advisory Committee and Marty from the Board of Directors. Our next physical skill game is called Penny Toss. Each contestant will get a bowl full of those copper pennies that we no longer bend over to pick up. You'll toss one penny at a time, trying to have the penny land in the bowl on the table in front of you. You must stand here and not move forward, tossing one penny at a time, hoping it lands inside the bowl. Pennies that fall on the floor or table cannot be used again. The winner is the one with the most pennies in the bowl at the end of 30 seconds and earns 20 points for their neighborhood. Any questions? Now, John from the Resident Advisory Committee will go first in the penny toss game. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
2, 3, go!
Okay, come on. Yay, go.
Don't lean.
Don't lean.
Nice toss. Go, go, go. There you go, go.
Don't lean.
4 at once.
There we go, there we go.
Come on, let's go, John.
4 at once. 4 at
There you
once.
go.
5 at once.
Hey, you got you in a rhythm now.
Go, 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 go.
Easy.
Don't worry about that one. Keep going, keep going.
There you go. There you
Great.
go. Good job.
Make the next toss better.
Keep it up.
Look at that.
Terrific.
Go, 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 go.
Stop the game.
Whoa!
Next is Marty from the Board of Directors, ready to toss his pennies. And 1, 2, 3, go.
Okay, Martin, go. 1,
Don't
2,
lean, don't
go,
lean.
go.
Don't lean.
Stand
Go.
up straight,
Don't lean.
Marty.
Don't
Okay,
lean.
Marty.
I know, don't lean.
Stand up straight,
Come on,
Marty.
Come
Stand up
on.
straight,
Just
Marty.
keep staring at that cup. Stare at the cup.
Oh.
Fill it up.
Straight, sit straight.
Fill it up.
Straight, straight,
Straight.
straight.
go. Come on, Marty.
Stand straight.
Straight,
Don't lean.
straight.
Don't
No
lean.
lean.
I'll eventually get this right. You know that, don't you?
Yes, eventually. You're supposed to be going in the thing though, right? Come on.
Come on, you can do it. You can do it.
Come on, let's go.
That's the game. Stop the game. Now that our contestants have finished their penny tossing, our official scorers will count the number of pennies in the bowl. Doug?
After the fourth skills game, penny toss, the board of directors had 13 pennies, and resident advisory committee came up with 15 pennies. The board of directors has 50 points, and the resident advisory committee now has 90 points.
You can let Dave.
Each team has selected one team member to play the final skills game challenge called Hot Air. We have a lot of M&Ms on the top of this bin. You are to use one hand and one straw to blow the M&Ms into the hole in the middle of the bin. The contestant that blows the most M&Ms into the hole after 30 seconds wins 20 points for their team. If M&Ms fall on the floor of the tabletop, they may not be used. Now, if you eat the M&Ms, it may lessen your anxiety, but kill your chance of winning 20 points for your neighborhood team because you cannot pick up the M&Ms. Do either of you have any questions? Now, David from the Board of Directors will go first in this hot air game. 1, 2, 3, go!
Let's go,
That's
David.
it,
Come
that's
on.
it,
Come on,
that's it,
start
that's
Come on,
it,
David.
that's it.
He's
Way to
doing
go.
great.
Way to go.
Really good.
Keep it
Don't
going.
touch
Just pretend you're playing
Don't
your
touch 'em.
instrument. There we go. There we
Yeah,
go.
it's a trumpet. It's a
Come on,
trumpet.
let's go.
It's a trumpet, yes.
Come on. You can do it. Yeah.
You're on
Yeah.
a roll. You
Oh,
are
yeah.
on a roll.
Wow.
Keep
Look at him
going,
go.
yeah.
We always
Very
knew
good.
you were full of hot air.
I was thinking the same thing.
So you're proving a point there. Yeah.
There you go.
He's making C sharp.
Let's go.
Oh,
Come on.
all right.
Time. Oh, no, you don't, you stinker. Next is Lisbeth from the Resident Advisory Committee. Ready to play hot air?
You betcha.
1, 2, 3, go.
Go, Elizabeth, come
Good,
on.
good.
Go,
Don't
go,
touch
go,
him.
go, go,
Don't
go,
touch
go.
him.
Go, Elizabeth.
That's it. That's
Keep
it.
going,
Go.
keep
That's it.
going. Looking good, looking
Put the wind in it.
good.
Put
Looking
the wind in
good.
it.
There you go.
Looking good, looking good, looking good.
Come on, you can do it.
All right, look at that.
Come on now.
All right, go, go, go.
Slow and steady wins
Come on,
the
come
race.
on. Plenty of time, plenty of time.
You can go anywhere you
Come on,
want to
Elizabeth.
around
Come on,
that.
Elizabeth.
Come on, you can do it.
Yeah,
Oh,
good.
way to go.
Very
Very
good.
good.
Two
Very
times.
good. Very
Very
good.
good, you got
Plenty
it.
of time.
Go,
All right, go, Elizabeth.
All right, way to go, Elizabeth.
Go, Elizabeth. Go, Elizabeth.
Come on, you got it. You got it.
Time.
Great.
Time! Well done, girl. That was good. That was pretty good.
Okay, how many did I get though?
Now that our contestants have blown the M&Ms into the hole, and our official scorers will count them and check the time.
We have counted the number of M&Ms, and board of directors had 15 M&Ms, and resident advisory committee had 12 M&Ms. I had the final scores from both teams, and the winner is RAC. 120 points.
We're not that far.
Our sincere thanks to both teams on a very spirited and fun-filled competition. And our congratulations to Resident Advisory Committee. All right. Each of you has won the $20 off any lifestyle event, and each team member receives a fitness coupon. Fitness coupon? Yes, from our Health and Wellness Department. So enjoy that. And for those of you watching there at home, who would like to organize your neighborhood team and issue a neighborhood challenge of your own, please send an email request to Georgia Lash, SCTV Promotions Director at suncitytvhh@gmail.com. Be sure to include names, phone numbers, and email addresses. You'll need a team of 4 with 2 alternate subs. SCTV will schedule you for a future broadcast of Neighborhood Challenge. I'm Jim Bruner for SCTV, and thanks for joining us. And we'll see you next month on Neighborhood Challenge.